दिया इंतजार
देखननु असितोगे तेरी मेरी एक
हेलो ये मुंदु कल्लल्लु
वारा तुझी कशानी
चंपा चमेली कोलिन ಹೊಳೆಯೋ ಹಾಲಿನ ಮಳೆಯೋ
अपड़ी पोड़ 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 अस्ति पोड़ कन्नाले.
Hi friends, this is Nipunika Shahid and the subject expert for today's episode is Dr. Manu Sharma. She has been working as an assistant professor with Amity School of Communication. Today, we'll be discussing another interesting topic related to films. It's regional cinema, and this session has been designed to cover various aspects related to Indian regional cinema, like its origin, its importance in Indian society, and the factors that are influencing its growth. To start with, mainstream audiences of popular Indian cinema take on a participatory and interactive style of viewing. In cinema theatres, especially in the context of Indian cinema, viewers can be very frequently spotted cheering and shouting out to characters on screen, appreciating the display in terms of its screenplay, dialogue and script, and sing along with the soundtrack. Today, India is home to one of the largest film industries in the world, and every year, thousands of movies are produced in India for its versatile set of target audience.
प्यार हुआ इकरार हुआ है प्यार से फिर क्यों डरता है दिल प्यार हुआ इकरार हुआ है प्यार से फिर क्यों डरता है लागे दिलो ओहो जग में ఊగెనుగా కృషి ఉంటే మనుషులు ఋషులవుతారు మహాపురుషులవుతారు
గుండెల్లో ఏముందో కళ్ళల్లో తెలుస్తుంది
పెదవుల్లో ఈ మౌనం నీ పేరే పిలుస్తుంది
என்னதான் நடக்கும் நடக்கட்டுமே இருட்டினில் நீதி மறையட்டுமே தன்னாலே வெளிவரும் தயங்காதே தலைவன் இருக்கிறான் மயங்காதே
அடிராக்கம்மா கைய கட்டு புது ராகத்தில் நெட்டு கட்டு
பட்டுக்குள்ளே நம்பர் ஒன்னு சொல்லு என் நெஞ்சுக்குள்ளே யார் என்று சொல்வேன் ஏழை என்கிறாய் என் ஏசரமவன்
அட ஆள் தோட்ட பூபதி நானடா அந்த அமர தோட்ட பூபதியும் நானடா ஒரு பாட்டு நான் பாட போறேன் கேளுடா அந்த பாட்டு சொல்லும் சங்கதியை கேளுடா
அப்படி போடு 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 அஸ்தி போடு கண்ணாலே இப்படி போடு 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 இழுத்து போடு கையாலே
உன்னோட பொறுக்குத உப்ப மூட்டை ஏறிக்கிற உன்னோட கண்ணபதி கண்ணாமூட்டி ஆட வர இந்த நட போதுமா இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் வேணுமா
এমন মাধবী নিশি আসেনি তো আগে চম্পা চামেলি গোলাপেরি বাগে চম্পা চামেলি
তব মধুপের প্রেম কুসুমে আমার খুঁজে পাই उमलते मना एकदा
चंद्रा ढगा तुनी तू हसलास का उगार ಜೇನಿನ ಹೊಳೆಯೋ ಹಾಲಿನ ಮಳೆಯೋ ಸುಧೆಯೋ ಕನ್ನಡ ಸರಿನುಡಿಯೋ ವಾಣಿಯ ವೀಣೆಯ ಸ್ವರ ಮಾಧುರ್ಯವೋ ಸುಮಧುರ ಸುಂದರ ನುಡಿಯೋ.
On the basis of its mass production, Indian cinema has been broadly segmented into Hindi, art and regional cinema. All of us know that India is a land of diversities where so many languages are being spoken by people belonging to different cultures and subcultures, and despite the popular ownership of Hindi cinema, which is also known as Bollywood, there are several larger languages that have been supporting their own film industry and is popularly known by the name of regional cinema. Now, if we have to explain the term regional cinema, it can be simply stated that it is used often when talking about cinema and has at least 3 different meanings in Indian context. It describes a tendency to make Bollywood-financed films on locations around India. It describes an attempt to create an independent cinema with strong cultural roots in various regions of the country. It describes a critical category and tool in film study. If we have to talk about regional cinema in cultural context, then we can say that these regional film industries have their own micro-ethnographic nature within the macro-ethnography of Indian cinema. No one can deny this fact that today they have been able to successfully coin their own neologisms like Tamil film industry, which is popularly known as Kollywood, or for that matter, Bengali film industry, which is called as Tollygunj, and many more. Nothing is complete without the discussion about its base or origin. So if we talk about its journey, it has not been a smooth ride for the regional cinema. Prior to the initiation of sound, cinema posed few problems for the non-Hindi speaking population of India, especially when it comes to the audio-visual representation of this creative form. Birth of the talkie, a whole host of new problems came into existence, and in India, it drew an acute awareness to the many subcultures within the nation, which were desirous of equal representation. Their craving for cinematic representations in their own language increased. As a result, regional films started appearing on screen in 1931, thus putting an end to the dominance of the Hindi cinema. The movement of making regional films gained its momentum during the social realist movement of 1950s, and to an extent, partition and post-war in context of Bengali cinema was also responsible for the same. It was during this time when the rest of the world became aware of the Indian regional cinema. For an instance, the seeds of Bengali film industry were sown by Hiralal Sen in 1918, who was considered as a stalwart of Victorian-era cinema when he set up the Royal Bioscope Company, producing scenes from the stage productions of a number of popular shows. But it was during 50s, 60s when creative works of reputable filmmakers such as Satyajit Ray popularized the Indian culture and ability to think visually on global diaspora. He took up the community issues to which larger audience could relate. First Assamese motion picture was Joymati, which was filmed in 1935 and was a failure, followed by second picture Indramalati, which was filmed between 1937 and 1938, was finally released in 1939. The history of cinema in Bengal dates back to the 1890s, when the first bioscopes were shown in theatres in Kolkata. The first Bengali feature film, Bilva Mangal, was produced in 1919 under the banner of Madan Theatre, followed by Bilal Ferat, which was the IBFC's first production in 1921. Bhojpuri language films history begins in 1962 with the well-received film Ganga Maiya Tohe Pyari Chadhaibo, which was directed by Chollywood was born in 1965 with the first Chhattisgarhi film Kahi Debe Sandesh, directed and produced by Manu Nayak. The film industry of Gujarat started its journey in 1932 with its first film being Narsingh Mehta, that was released in the year 1932 and was directed by Nanubhai Vakil. Kannada cinema, along with Bengali and Malayalam films, contributed simultaneously to the age of Indian parallel cinema. Konkani language films, which are mainly produced in Goa, is one of the smallest film industries in India. Konkani language is spoken mainly in the states of Goa, Maharashtra and Karnataka, and to a smaller extent in Kerala. The first full-length Konkani film was Mogajo Anvado, released on 24th April 1950 and was produced and directed by Jerry Bruganza, a native of Mapusa, under the banner of Etika Pictures. This is one of the reasons 24th April is celebrated as Konkani Film Day. Mollywood regional cinema of Kerala is considered to be the fourth largest among the film industries in India. Vigat Kumaran, a silent movie released in 1928, produced and directed by J.C. Daniel, marked the beginning of Malayalam cinema. Balan, released in 1938, was the first Malayalam talkie. Marathi cinema includes the films produced in the Marathi language in the state of Maharashtra and is one of the oldest industry in Indian cinema. In fact, the pioneer of cinema in Union of India was Dadasaheb Phalke, who brought the revolution of moving images to India with his first indigenously made silent film Raja Harishchandra in 1913, which is considered by IFFI and NIFT part of Marathi cinema as it was made by a Marathi crew. The first Marathi talkie film, Ayodhyacha Raja, produced by Prabha Films, was released in 1932, just 1 year after Alamara, the first Hindi talkie film. The Oriya film industry is the Bhubaneswar and Cuttack-based Oriya language film industry, popularly known as Ollywood, and the first Oriya talkie, Sita Bibaha, was made by Mohan Sundar Deb Goswami in 1936. K.D. Mehra made the first Punjabi film Sheila, also known as Pind Di Kudi, in which baby Noor Jahan was introduced as an actress and a singer. Sheila was made in Calcutta and released in Lahore, the capital of those striving hard to survive, mainly because not having a state or region to represent, Sindhi film industry has been producing movies in intervals of time. The very first Sindhi movie produced in India was 1958 film Abana, which was a success throughout the country.
हुई रात ॾींहं इंतज़ारी किथे मां हुन लाइ मांदो मूं लाइ मांदो मूं हुन बेवफ़ा खे वफ़ादार समझो वफ़ादार छा पर ते गमख़ार समझो उहो ई मूंखां मुंहुं मटाए हलियो वियो मूं जंहिंखे ते पंहिंजो सचो यार समझो.
The first Tamil film was made in 1916, but the industry got momentum with the success of the first talkie in Tamil. With times, regional cinema has gained popularity mainly because of the concepts it explores. The stories and scripts being adopted by regional film industry are based on thoughts and perceptions to which people of that region can relate to. It is a more vernacular form of art. For example, Gujarati cinema is always based on scripts from mythology to history and social to political. While on the other hand, Malayalam film industry is known for films that bridge the gap between parallel cinema and mainstream cinema by portraying thought-provoking social issues with top-notch technical perfection but with low budgets. Same goes for films being made in Bengali language which have covered social issues as well as science fiction. Moreover, since the regional cinema is usually expected to match up with the standards being set by the Hindi cinema, it can be said that in comparison to its previous state, it has become more systematic, has attained regularity in its patterns, and has started providing more variety to its audience in terms of characterization. Lately, regional cinema has found an important place in the public sphere. One can never ignore the role Tamil cinema has played in forging the relationship between local politics and the public. Hence, though Hindi cinema is usually referred to as the pan-India, regional cinema has its own perfection in addressing the local identities that exist in the form of different communities, cultures and belief systems. Did you know that each year the number of entries bagging a national award is from regional film category as compared to the Hindi films? Also, on social cultural grounds, 80% of the times films that get public exhibition certification are from regional film industry. This is because the young literate generation can relate more to the native language, culture and issues. However, despite all these efforts, it has been noted that the number of regional films being dubbed or subtitled has reduced, especially when compared to the foreign films. According to some research studies, number of regional films being dubbed or subtitled in Hindi had come down from 213 in 2001 to 147 in 2011, while the number of foreign films dubbed or subtitled had increased to 128 in 2011. In addition to this, there are several other parameters that pose a challenge for regional cinema, like the upcoming technological gadgets like phones, tablets, pay-per-view and laptops and venues such as multiplexes, which can lead to an increase in the demand for better cinematography, improved quality and digital formats. Regional cinema also needs to handle problems related to distribution and marketing and requires to explore upon other revenue generation possibilities, as at times it happens that a single independent regional film producer spends years raising the capital for a single film, and the returns on investment are not good enough to financially support the second project. Now, if we have to talk about the tussle going on between the Bollywood and the regional cinema, it can be said that the Indian cinema has successfully fascinated a large number of people globally as a body which was quite capable of dealing with the commercial onslaught of Hollywood. But due to a number of reasons, this popular cinema is considered to be synonymous with Bollywood or Hindi cinema from the city of Mumbai, the former Bombay. On the broader level, regional cinema addresses the local constituencies based on the language in which the films are made, and though only 1/3 of the films are made under Hindi cinema, still the regional cinema has been significantly overshadowed by Bollywood. There are facts which state that in 1995, the Indian economy began showing sustainable annual growth, and Hindi cinema as a commercial enterprise grew at a growth rate of 15% annually. As a result, the salary of lead stars increased greatly. Many actors signed contracts for simultaneous work in 3 to 4 films. In terms of finance, institutions such as the Industrial Development Bank of India also came forward to finance Hindi films. A number of magazines such as Filmfare, Stardust, Cineblitz, etc. became popular. However, the scenario was different when it comes to the regional cinema. Increase the number of regional films being dubbed or subtitled, screening the award-winning regional films not only on national but private channels on regular basis. Regional or local cinemas have not been able to endorse or accept the effects of globalization, which Bollywood has done beautifully. They need to change according to market as well as the audience demands. They need to deal with issues pertaining to actual box office reception and the expenses that are involved in national distribution of independent regional production, upgradation of existing regional cinemas and the building of new ones, setting up of regional professional training centers to create an environment for discussion on innovation, cultural exchange and self-expression. Hope you've enjoyed this session and have learned a lot about the concept of regional cinema. Goodbye.